There's another change to SU's COVID policy, and this time, it affects where you get tested.
For those in the spirit of giving, the blood drive makes its return to campus.
The number 1 and number 2 seed in women's lacrosse come together for one last battle. This is a rivalry you don't want to miss.
And the Mr. Asia competition is giving SU students the opportunity to show off their talents. All that, plus your weather and the latest in entertainment coming up on this edition of Mornings on the Hill.
Good morning. I'm Tulu Famude. Thanks for joining us on Mornings on the Hill.
And I'm Michaela Armstrong. Here's a look at what's going on around campus this morning.
We begin this morning with some allegations of hate speech and vandalism on campus.
It happened at Brewster Hall. It's over near the Dome. Elena Lucido is here to tell us what's going on.
Thanks, guys. Yes, this did happen at Brewster Hall. The hate speech and vandalism did happen, and it was directed towards the LGBTQ+ community.
Police are investigating an incident here at Brewster Hall. Brewster is part of a group of residence halls on campus, also known as BBB. It's a freshman dormitory, and it's on Van Buren Street. On Sunday, Syracuse DPS officers investigated an alleged hate crime. This student lives there and told me what she saw.
All I know is that they called one of the RAs the F slur, and then there was a bunch of flags down there, and they took down all the flags. And I was in the lobby, I heard people look at the flags that were in the lobby, and they were like, ew, this is gross, like, who did this?
Last week, you may have seen flags leading up to the Hall of Languages on campus. They marked Transgender Week of Liberation. During the same week, residents at Brewster Hall say gay pride flags were vandalized.
Do you feel safe in the building still?
Yeah. I feel like minimally safe. I guess no one's really like directly talked to me about it.
In order to help BBB residents feel safe, there are DPS cars parked outside and reminders to call security if there is a problem. Police are investigating an incident here at Brewster.
Yes, so this was an act of hate, and it was, sorry, back to you guys.
On Sunday on campus, COVID testing will move to Kimmel Hall for the rest of the semester. Testing at Kimmel Hall will be Sunday through Friday, and parking will be available for testing at Comstock Avenue Garage. The reason for the move is because of events being planned at the stadium. Here's how it looks on the campus COVID dashboard. There are currently 137 active cases among faculty, staff, and students at SU. All 137 people are in isolation. There are just 5 students among them. In the past weeks, 47 new student cases have been reported. The university is still in the yellow level, so masks are recommended indoors but are no longer required.
You shouldn't cancel your college plans if you're worried about your grades.
Our Sydney Orr joins us live on campus to tell us why.
I'm here at the College of Professional Studies, where a program here might just turn your dreams of getting into college a reality. Sometimes life just happens.
When I was in high school, I dealt with a lot of depression and whatnot, and that kept me from being able to do my best in school. I chose to just drop out of school just to focus on my recovery.
But for 27-year-old Leandra Tyler, who says she was always motivated to learn, she found a way to finish what she started.
As soon as I felt like I was in a good place, I got my high school equivalency, and then I came here.
Here, to the College of Professional Studies to enroll in the Higher Education Opportunity Program. The part-time program specifically designed to serve non-traditional students who are eligible if they have never been to college, are low-income New York State residents, have a high school diploma with an average of 70 to 84.5, or a GED.
They're able to take anywhere from 6 to 11 credits a semester and really flesh out their schedule so it fits for them.
I do have a life, whereas regular traditional students are just, their life's just here on campus, whereas as soon as I leave campus, it's a whole new world for me.
And for high schoolers, even thinking about college can seem like a whole new world.
You would think that that would be something attainable for people in their backyard. But it's also like, you know, I can't make it at such a prestigious university. I don't have the grades.
Which is why the program connects with local students to show them that getting a Syracuse University degree is actually possible and at a gradual pace.
I would say over 80% finish either associate's degree and go on to a bachelor's.
And at a great cost.
You don't have to worry about paying for anything with HEOP.
But nothing is better than this.
Just being able to actually complete the dreams that I wanted to, that I didn't think I would be able to because I didn't have a high school diploma, was definitely like, oh my God, finally I can do what I want, so.
Students will also get transportation benefits and child care if they need. More details can be found at the Syracuse University website. Reporting live on campus, I'm Sydney Orr, NCC Mornings on the Hill.
The blood drive is back on campus. The SU American Red Cross Club and the Center for Policy Research says we are in desperate need. With the rise in COVID-19 cases, there is a 10% decline in blood donors, and hospitals need the blood. If you want to donate, you can win a limited edition t-shirt and a coupon for a free haircut. The blood drive is open on Wednesday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. in the Hall of Languages and Thursday from 12 p.m. to 6 p.m. at the Shine Student Center.
The Dean of Syracuse's Visual and Performing Arts School is closing the video art program. This follows a trend of art program closures across the country. Master's student Juan Liu burned a video camera on campus in response. This is an art installation that's currently in SU's Art Museum. It features the burned camera, a casting call and script that calls out the dean, and you can even see a video of the flames. The piece is called Sunset, an ode to the program. The dean didn't show up to the performance.
A new market is open on the south side of Syracuse, which offers healthy and affordable groceries.
But it's more than just groceries. Our reporter Tessa Howard is in the studio to tell us about the Brady Market. Tessa?
What if we told you the Brady Market workers are not only required to stock their shelves? Imagine if your job gave you free therapy and mentors. Let's take a look.
Danielle Thomas, an employee leader at the Brady Market, says the market is not just a market. It's a market that saved her life.
They're making programs for our youth. I have 6 children. I would love to see them inside these good programs that I wasn't able to have or my community able to have.
The Brady Market is now providing a program of case managers, therapists, and job training to 24 employees. The program is expected to last 12 to 18 months for people like Thomas to learn necessary life and job skills. The Brady Market originally opens its doors this June to provide healthy and affordable groceries to West Side Syracuse residents.
Once I got here, I was able to gain the skills I need to be a better parent, be a better employer, a better person in the streets.
Kevin Frank, executive director of the center that owns the Brady Market, says he is trying to remove hardships like unemployment, transportation, and child care issues in the area.
You pay them, you know, to do that work, to work on themselves, because if you work on yourself, you can do anything.
Frank tells me that every dollar spent here at the Brady Market is fed back into the community neighborhood.
The Brady Market's working model is the only one of its kind in New York. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Tessa Howard.
Coming up here on Mornings on the Hill.
We'll look at how one TikTok is taking over, and IE's outside with the weather. Just when it looked like spring was upon us at the beginning of the week, we are back to grabbing winter coats and now even your umbrella.
We were so close. Our IE Giant is live in the studio to tell us what to expect.
Thank you. Right now, it does not feel too bad outside, but that is going to change shortly. Let's take a look at the weather today. We have a rainy day ahead of us. Today morning, we are looking at 5 to 9 mile per hour winds. Also, keep your umbrellas close by because in the afternoon, we are looking at a 60% chance of a storm. This evening will be a 20% chance of rain and some snow later tonight. Moving on to the next few days, it looks like more rain. On Saturday, it's going to be a high of 49 degrees and a low of 39 degrees. It's going to be a mostly cloudy day with a 70% chance of rain and a 60% chance of snow showers after 2 in the morning. On Sunday, there's a 40% chance of rain and snow showers before 9 a.m. Then a chance of rain throughout the rest of the day with a high 44 and a low 32. On Monday, things are definitely looking up. You may need your sunglasses with a sunny high of 58 and a low of 44, but there is a 40% chance of rain after 2 a.m. On Tuesday, it gets a little warmer. We're looking at a high of 65 and a low of 48. There is a 30% chance of rain before 2 p.m. and on Wednesday, it's going to be mostly cloudy and a high of 64 with a low of 53 degrees. Again, we see a 40% chance of rain during the day and a 50% chance overnight. That wraps up the weather. I'm Ai Jagni. Back to you in the studio.
No one could have predicted how influential TikTok has become in today's world.
Our Imani Clement joins us live in the studio to discuss how the app has become so popular and made its ways onto everyone's phone.
Michaela, TikTok has made its official mark in the social media world. The app began its domination during the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we at Mornings on the Hill even have our very own. Here's more on how the app is able to keep us scrolling.
From viral dances,
we've been seeing these tacos everywhere.
To cooking tutorials,
you're gonna start out.
If all the TV hosts
and comedic skits, TikTok has become a social media force to be reckoned with. According to Forbes, 2020 was the year that the TikTok app saw a 75% increase in users from the previous year. Tech consultant and CEO of the Palmer Group, Shelley Palmer, says that TikTok has one job when it comes to its dedicated users:
keep you on the platform for as long as possible.
So how is TikTok able to provide you with addictive content that keeps you scrolling and scrolling and scrolling? Well, there's an algorithm that determines what should be shown on your For You page, a page that shows you recommended content based off of your interactions.
Now, the TikTok algorithm is a trade secret. They don't let anyone know exactly what it does.
Syracuse University student Eliana Petrus is studying public relations with a social media focus. She thinks that the TikTok algorithm is pretty revolutionary.
TikTok is impressive. Honestly, the way that people will take apart trends and use it as their own, both personally and how brands use it and how quickly things take off, that, you know, sounds or music that we haven't heard in decades and all of a sudden are popular again, or artists that maybe people in our generation never listened to before are all of a sudden being streamed again.
TikTok doesn't only cater your feed to your liking, but it also puts you onto new content that isn't popular or that you haven't seen before. Take 23-year-old Michaela Fraser, for example. She went viral overnight after posting a TikTok that she didn't expect to be so popular.
I have a second job, so when I went to my second job, I didn't see my phone for like a couple of hours. So I would say around 8 o'clock, I had about 20,000 views, and then it like maybe 500 likes, and that's more than I have on any of my videos. So I was like, what the heck? And then I kept getting comments, and people kept tagging people, and people kept looking. So then that's how that happened.
Surpass Google to become the #1 website in the world. So we can possibly see a future where all types of content are produced and consumed on TikTok. Even broadcast news, perhaps. For Mornings on the Hill, I'm Imani Clement. Back to you guys in the studio.
Coming up on Mornings on the Hill.
A conversation with the reality TV star from The Bachelorette. And Jack is back in the studio with sports.
Coming up after the break, we have the biggest women's lacrosse game of the year, an update from Augusta, and some very exciting news for the Dome. Stay tuned.
It might not be as big as the Oscars, but there is a blockbuster lacrosse matchup this weekend in Syracuse.
Our sports anchor Jack Wallace is here to give us the latest in sports.
Women's lacrosse titans will clash this weekend. The top-ranked undefeated UNC Tar Heels are in town to take on the #2 Syracuse Orange. Now, the Orange haven't halted the Heels in the Carrier Dome in 8 years, and this presents the perfect opportunity to deal overdue revenge as the Orange look to extend their win streak to 5. The game is set to begin on Saturday at 2 p.m. Now, if you're one of the many Syracuse fans who is sick and tired of all those cold metal bleachers, well, you're in for some fantastic news. Now we're looking live at the sea of gray of bleachers in the Dome. Now New York State will supply $20 million to help cover phase 2 of the Carrier Dome renovations, including plastic seats with backs throughout the whole stadium. And the project won't just include these new seats, but also upgraded railings and stairs, along with new ramps to comply with ADA rules. The old bleachers will be donated to local high schools, and all that construction could start as early as this June. Georgia is on all our minds this weekend as we fly down to the gorgeous April fairways of the Augusta for the Masters. Now, Tiger Woods is back. The legend makes his return after 14 months, and in round 1, he sits at just 1 under par. Now, that's tied for 10th. But we do have a major surprise in first. Sungjae Im is in the lead in his Masters debut. His 15 under par score is the lowest ever for any golfer in round 1 of their Masters debut. The smell of peanuts and Cracker Jacks flood the Salt City once again as the Syracuse Mets return to action this week against the Scranton Wilkes-Barre Rail Riders. The Mets dropped their home opener Tuesday 5-0, as well as Game 2 of the series 3-5 Wednesday night. And last Game's 3 was postponed because of rain, but don't you worry, the Mets will be back for a makeup doubleheader, and that starts today at 3:35 this afternoon at M&T Bank Stadium. Now here's for this week's Photo of the Week. We'll take you all down to the Big Easy, where I snagged this shot at the Reese's All-Star Game in New Orleans during the men's Final Four weekend. This image highlights Grant Golden on the East team in black and Mark Smith on the right and the West team in orange. Both these athletes received MVP for their respective teams. Now the key to making an image like this work is slowing the action down, freezing the frame on Smith as he drives to the basket for a bucket. Now that'll be all for sports today. Bring it back to y'all in the studio.
Still to come here on Mornings on the Hill. A competition gives students the chance to show off their culture and their talents.
And a reality star is sharing his guidance in a new book. Stay with us for that story and more just ahead.
Michaela, can you see me in a pageant?
I don't know, if I'm being honest, Tallulah. I don't think I can.
Well, tonight a male pageant is taking the stage. The annual Mr. Asia Pageant will be full of performances, and even a drag queen will be hosting.
Our very own Pajong Lee is here today with one of the contestants to get a sneak peek.
Thanks, Michaela. Tonight, a Mr. Asia pageant will be happening at 7 p.m. This continues the celebrations for Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month on campus. The pageant is meant to celebrate the AAPI community and, of course, to provide a fun time for everyone. I have Lawrence Hsu here, one of the contestants that will be talking to us a little bit more about the pageant today. So thanks for being with us.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So first starting off, I'm just a little curious. Why is this a Mr. Asia pageant, you know, in comparison to what we normally see where there's a woman in these pageants?
Absolutely. So historically, pageants have been very female focused. When you look at the male comparison for female pageants, we have essentially muscle building contests. The male pageants are able to express themselves authentically. So that's why we have Mr. Asia to try and combat that.
Yeah. And so just moving on, like how do you feel being in this pageant? Like, are you nervous? What are you feeling right now?
Yeah, of course there's a little bit of nervousness, but there's a lot of excitement too. You know, being able to take the stage, you know, really express myself, it's very exciting.
Yeah, I love that. Just being able to express yourself. And I know we were talking a little bit about this before the show, just about how the media and especially Hollywood has represented Asian men in like negative stereotypes, very much so where they are emasculated and seen as asexual. I mean, even the American Psychological Association raised this issue. So how do you think that this pageant helps combat this stereotype?
Simply just by having an Asian male pageant, you know, already combats the stereotype. You know, being able to express ourselves not only like with our physical appearance, our talents, but also, you know, being able to send the message that we want to send out. And also by having the guest speakers, you know, we have some amazing guest speakers in these past years. We have Ryan Bergara this year. Last year we had Canto Mando. And in 2019 we had Simu Liu as one of the guest speakers.
Yeah, really?
Shang-Chi.
Oh my God, that's crazy. So let's get back to the pageant. What kind of performances are we going to be seeing? And especially, what's your talent going to be?
Of course. So Mr. Asia will have a lot of singing and dancing. My talent will be dancing. So we'll be showing off, busting a few moves. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. That's exciting. That's exciting. Well, we hope we wish you the best, and we hope that everything goes well.
Thank you.
Mr. Asia Pageant will be happening tonight at 7 p.m. in the Shine Underground. You can still buy tickets online at the box office. Back to you guys.
A former Bachelorette contestant from Buffalo released a new book that could help you with your professional and financial success in the future. Gabriel Vega is here with the story. Now, good morning, Gabe.
Good morning. You know the show The Bachelorette? Well, one of its stars is from Buffalo, and he's got a new book out right now. His name is Jason Tartick, and the book is called The Restart Roadmap.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you? I'm Jason.
Jason
Tartick was on season 14 of The Bachelorette and got thousands of followers on Instagram. He's been on Celebrity Family Feud, and he recently got engaged to former Bachelorette, Caitlin Bristow. And now, he has a book out, The Restart Roadmap.
After all that, what led you to write a book?
Yeah, so I think one of the big things that led me to write a book, candidly, was that an agent reached out, right? So an agent reached out, Levine Greenberg had roasted, and what was interesting is they said, we love what you're doing with Restart at a time where the whole world is restarting. What do you think about a book?
Tartick is a former corporate banker, and during the pandemic, he started an Instagram where he gives financial and professional advice.
I get it. You work hard. You're grinding. So what do you want to do? You want to buy the watch. You want to buy the bag. You want to go to the club. You want to go to that game. I've been able to see so many things that have accelerated people's brand, their network, their career, their financial success, their personal success, their professional success.
With this book, Tartick wants to empower people to reevaluate their lives and careers and take action.
If right now you're having any bit of career confusion or you're dealing with any difficulty, this book can make the most subtle change to what you're doing and how you're doing it, or the most material change.
And if you're a Bachelor fan, the book is also filled with behind-the-scenes stories. For example, Tartick tells us he was offered $100,000 to become the Bachelor. What do you think of that, Tallulah and Michaela?
It's a lot of money. That's going to do it for us this Friday on Mornings on the Hill. I'm Tallulah Family Day. Follow us on social media.
And I'm Michaela Armstrong. Thanks for watching us, Orange Nation. We're going to see you next Tuesday and Friday live at 10 a.m. right here on OTN.